What's up, guys? I'm Alex.
I'm Jason. We're the Table Monkeys, and this is Table Talks episode 36, where we discuss random topics over most recent arm wrestling, which was this past weekend at BAL.
Yeah, BAL 301.
Yeah.
The beginning of a new summer series we got going on. We're outside. These things are getting a little bit bigger.
Yeah, just trying to enjoy the weather and enjoy making each other stronger. And I guess the topics we wanted to talk about today were kind of just rules, and we're going to get to the Michael Todd and Devon match because that is exactly 1 week away. It's literally like going to be happening right a week from now from when we're recording this, but from when we release this we will have already known the results a week from now because it'll be later in the day. So we're going to make some predictions. Devon released the rules of that event, and then we figured talk about the rules of our event because there was some indiscrepancies.
A little bit of controversy.
Yeah, somebody got a little bit butthurt. I'm not going to mention any names. But
for the most part, every match went off without a hitch.
Yeah.
No one was complaining. It was just the one match.
Yeah. And in reality, looking back, it was pretty well called throughout. And having someone like Tyler Bowles in there to kind of confirm that, like after watching everything, being like, saying that he thinks that we doing a good job reffing and stuff. And it is backyard. Like obviously, this isn't WAF World Championship
for sure. And we have a little bit of different rules, and we talked about that beforehand.
Yeah, and they have been evolving, like from event to event, but from the most part, like we really like the WAL ref's grip or set grip. And after listening to Devon go through the rules with Michael and talk about all the differences and stuff, if you don't know, it is apparent that the WAL set grip is not an official like WAF ref's grip in the sense that no movement or any movement is a foul. The way it's actually written in WAL is that it's only once they say close your hands. Between close your hands and go is where a foul can be awarded for like a false movement or movement you're not supposed to do.
Yeah.
But up until there is a bit of play. There is a little bit of wiggle room, right?
Yeah, I feel like I don't quite agree with that rule. I mean, I think once it's a ref script, because if you can just cover the person's hand, and then what happens? You just restart it.
Yeah.
Like how many times can I do that before? Yeah. I guess you'd go to strap because it's a 30-second rule.
Right, and I guess in the WAL, a lot of it.
Yeah, that would be because they have you can get your own grip, right? For the first 30 seconds?
Yeah, the first 30 seconds. No, the first 30 seconds is still set. Like, they still put your hands together in the WAL and close your thumbs, close your hands, but there's no strap. But you can, like, go get chalk or you can, like, fuss around for a second. Like, it's easy to make that 30 seconds run. Right. The way we do it is we allow people to get a grip for 30 seconds. So just to get back to, like, the kind of the way that we think about it at WAL or BAL is we want to give people the 30 seconds to get their grip, kind of like the way everybody is used to. If people can't come to an agreement with grips, then we go to a set grip. And the way we ran it before, like when Dave Knox refed, was 3 fouls and there's no warnings. Like once you're in a set grip, it's any movement, the ref can give you a foul for anything at that point. Now, he was relatively lenient in the setup, this is something Devon touched on when he talked about the rules. The hardest part, and definitely I think the most important part, is just getting the match to start, right. Which is what we've tried to figure out a way to make it comfortable for the backyard, but at the same time, like kind of quick, kind of easy, and easy to edit, easy to film, all that kind of stuff.
The worst thing is having a match end on fouls
before it even starts.
Or during the match. If
it ends on fouls during the match, it's a little bit more understandable. Like people, and what we mean by this is like the viewers that don't really love or know arm wrestling that are trying to learn about arm wrestling. If they see a match end before anybody even pulls, that's so confusing. Like it just doesn't. It's hard to, and it's just upsetting. It's just a complete it's.
Especially when it happens because of ambiguous rules. Like this last event that happened in Nevada, the UAL, it's funny because it was Bill Collins reffing, and he made some shoulder below the table fouls that I didn't quite agree with they were in neutral position, or the guy's shoulder was clearly not below the table. It was just in line with his elbow. Like when a match ends like that, then I'm like kind of upset, and me knowing the rules, I'm like, well, that shouldn't have been a foul. But someone who has no idea is like left completely confused.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the same thing in WAF with like little tiny baby elbow fouls that get called and stuff. So you want to kind of minimize the amount of that which happens in a match, which all of this, there's a lot of discussion that can be had of what's the right way to do it. But just getting back to starting the match, is back with when Dave Knox refed it at that one, we went no warnings, and everything was straight to a foul, and you had 3 fouls. The way we ran it this weekend, and the way I prefer to run it, is that you get a warning in the set grip, and then it's 2 fouls, and there's no runners. So basically, the point is that, like, because you can't get a warning really. I mean, we were kind of giving warnings for, like, if you're close on an elbow foul, but only if it's, like, really incidental. If you're, like, bumping your elbow up off the table, then, you know, I guess during the match, the way we were running it was, like, kind of like a warning and then a foul for, like, incidental. But anything that was big or significant, like intentional or going to gain an advantage, those obviously we're going to call like right away, and it stopped the match. I think the one where maybe the adjustment needs to be made in the way that things are called is fouls in a losing position, maybe. Right,
like, so when you're clearly lifting your elbow to get a restart when you know you're about to lose, which happened in the match that
we're talking about, that is controversial, and both competitors did it at different times.
Exactly.
One competitor did it a little too late, so it didn't work in his advantage. One competitor did it early enough that it did work in his advantage. But at the same time, maybe in both situations, it should be an intentional foul in a losing position, and therefore it's just a loss. One thing that we've talked about that I think is an interesting idea is the idea of the flagrant foul, or having, like, sort of like degrees of fouls, you know? So you've got your warning, which is for something unintentional, incidental, that obviously the competitor didn't do to gain an advantage. It just kind of happened. You give a warning for that. If it happens again, you give a foul, because then you can question the intent. Any intentional foul that is like, seems like they're trying to gain a position. If it's, this is where, if you want runners, this is where I think you might want to have something that goes past that, because if an intentional foul just means that the match continues and you have to, you can pin the guy for a win, or you can give up the pin to have a restart. In the heat of a match, like, it doesn't,
especially if you were winning prior to that flagrant foul that got your opponent in an advantageous position.
And what
now
we mean is
to give your arm up to get a rematch. It's like, well, now I'm not getting what I had before. I have to start from a neutral position again.
And because of the whole psychology of a match, just the idea of giving up a pin, like, there's something that you lose as a competitor in that moment, and doing that, even if it's for your benefit. And I think what we're talking about as far as the foul goes is when it's something like a really aggressive, like you drag your elbow 4 inches off the back of the pad to initiate more drag, or you lift your elbow 4 inches off the pad to get a bunch of height over your opponent's hand and drive into it. And then even if you come back to a good position, if the foul is so flagrant, that should be where the match stops. And either the flagrant foul is a loss, or the flagrant, like if you have 3 runners, which is the other set of rules that a lot of people go with, maybe the flagrant foul counts as 2 fouls.
So they have something similar to that in this Michael Todd and Devon match, right? So we're going to get to see that in play a little bit. It's not going to be listed as a flagrant foul where you get 2 fouls. I think they're still doing 2 fouls in the match.
As far as I know, it's just 2 fouls.
So they do have runners. Right? But if if you commit a foul that seems to put you in an advantageous position, then the match will be stopped and there'll be a restart.
But it's still just 1 foul.
Still just 1 foul.
So the way the runners are working are for the elbow bumps, or the little kind of incidental fouls. So they don't get the grace of an incidental foul at the Michael Todd Devon match, which again, for us in the BAL in the backyard, we want to see matches. We want to see matches end with pins, and as long as the competitors aren't being unsportsmanlike and trying to hurt each other or something like that, for the most part, we want to let matches continue. But at the same time, we got to follow rules. So for the most part, I like the way that we ran this one, and I think moving forward, that's going to basically be the outline, is that there's 2 fouls that are stops, and you get 1 warning, and the warning is for incidental stuff. So, like, you get a warning before the go. If you use it up then any foul in the match should be a foul. You know what I mean? Or maybe once the match starts, I don't know, maybe we need to discuss that more even.
A warning for during ref script, and then a warning for,
like, once the match starts for incidental things that are not gaining any advantage. But if you repeat that incidental, like if you're trying to keep your elbow down on the pad and it bumps up once, you get a warning, watch your elbow, and then the next one where it bumps up, foul, elbow foul, you stop the match, and it's a restart. I think that's a fair way to keep it going. But again, the rules
Especially
are
in the backyard arm wrestling.
Yeah, this is we're just talking backyard. But to get to Devon and Todd, since we've talked about it a little bit, I think the big rule that everybody's interested in, or that everybody thinks is crazy, is this intentional slips will be a foul.
Right.
Because,
so at first I thought this would play a huge factor, but then I heard that they're doing that 30-second to strap rule. And I figured, well, Michael can just not put his hand on the table.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that I don't think it's that significant because it's still 30 seconds to a strap. If they come to a grip, the way you pull, there is no running away in a sense. But with the way that the way that an intentional slip is supposed to be called, if your hand is open, like coming away from your opponent's hand, or if you ball up and dive under your opponent's hand, as we were kind of doing it between us. Just to see, like, when you roll out the way that Michael does with the King's move, he's not letting go. Like, his hand is still, like, cupping or trying to, like, if there was a hand going with him, that he would be containing it. He's not squeezing, trying to hang on. But he's not opening his hand up away from you. And because of the way he rolls out, he doesn't ball up and come under your hand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I still think it could be contentious, and it's still going to be up to, like, Bill's discretion as a ref there. And if it happens at lightning speed, then it could work in either person's favor there.
Yeah.
He can just not put his arm down and go straight to the strap, and then it won't be an issue.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think that the intentional slip, I
think it's a dumb idea.
I don't know. I think it makes it harder to call, and the thing is that when it's such a fast, like you said, like, it happens so quickly, like, you almost can't really tell what happened unless you look at it in a slow motion replay, or unless it's blatantly obvious, which, okay, if you're only going to call the blatantly obvious ones, then that's great. But if things are getting called that are questionable, that's when, it's that's what, well, I guess that's what gives us all stuff to talk about afterwards, but that's also where you get these angry Facebook posts that make no sense. People are being delusional as fuck.
Hey, let them keep making their posts, whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyway, let's you got the predictions for this match?
I really think that I think Devon's going to win. I think it's going to be a war. I'm sure Michael's going to get a round or two. I don't know,
First, like, you think he's going to win in the beginning or win later?
I think he's probably going to, if Michael gets pins, they're going to be early, which I think he will. So yeah, maybe he wins round one. But they both want to burn the other one out. So,
yeah.
But no, not really. I think Michael said his goal is to just flatten him. So if Michael comes in aggressive and just goes for the pin, yeah, I think he might get one early. But I do think Devon's going to be able to get a stop. I do think Devon's coming in with a lot more size and strength than people are expecting, and or maybe some people are, but I think he's definitely going to deliver on that front. And I think how he's going to win is by climbing and getting to a press. I think that his press is going to be on another level if he can get to it.
He's been doing tricep extensions.
I know.
That's going to make all the difference.
It really will.
Yeah.
I really think so. Okay, your predictions. My prediction, 4-2, Devon winning with some dominant presses.
Dominant presses, okay. Yeah, I think Michael... I think I'm going to give him the first round. I'm going to say he's too fast, too explosive, and Devon's going to try and catch him, and he's going to get pinned first round. Devon's going to be more aggressive the next two rounds, and he's going to be able to get the pins. I see Michael flash pressing him once or twice. I think this is going to go 7 rounds, 3-3.
Yeah.
And then the 7th round, I'm going to give to Devon because I want him to win. So that's my prediction.
All right, I like it, yeah. Oh, man, it's going to be... I can't wait to see it.
Buy that pay-per-view.
Yeah, get the pay-per-view. We'll definitely, obviously, be doing a review of the match after it happens, which will be a week from when we record this and a little less than a week from when you hear this. So, fucking... that's it. 7 days out. It's going to be epic. All right.
Like the video if you like the video.
Subscribe, smash that bell, all those things.
And monkeys out.
Peace.